8,760 is the exact number of hours in every single year, and it's also the name of this epic start of year guide that went viral on Hacker News a couple years ago.
We're gonna take you through the most ultimate, grueling, marathon and sprint year planning guide that we do at the end of every single year to review the previous year and set some kick butt goals for the next year. This has helped us manifest all of our jobs, internships, financial goals, and we're gonna show you how it's done.
This guide was created by Alex Vermeer. We've linked it in the description. Shout out to him. And the very beginning of it says something awesome. This guide is for planning the next 8,760 hours, one full year of your life.
So to do this, you need a large sheet of paper, a pen, and some time, and maybe a little bit of privacy away from people so you have time to reflect and think.
Once you have that stuff, we're gonna overview the last 60 hours. We're gonna take a brief snapshot and then deep dive into 12 different areas of our lives with specific questions. And then we're gonna talk about the next 60 hours and plan for our future with, again, just as deep of a dive, specific questions, really cool prompts. It's awesome.
Okay, to start things off, we're just doing the general snapshot. I have a little section at the top called overview, and then the 4 questions that we ask ourselves are: what went well, what did not go well, where did you try hard, where did you not try hard enough? So get to your pen and paper, let's go. So Josh is still finishing up, but I just did like a really quick write out of my year. 2020 was obviously a crazy year for the pandemic. What went well for me was spending a lot of time with my family and in-laws. At the beginning of this year, I think we had like almost 0 subscribers, and we were able to grow our YouTube channel to almost 50,000, which is crazy. We closed on our house. Professionally, things just went really well.
I pretty much echo what Katie said. Routines went out the window, but I was pumped about YouTube. I launched my first game in the App Store, which was an awesome achievement. First 1,000 plays on a Spotify song. Now it's time for the deep dive. 12 sections. We're gonna put all the prompts up on screen here. We are going to rank each of them like 1 through 10, how we feel about that area of our lives, and write some highlights down and kind of answer these prompts as they come up.
All right, section number 1 is values and purpose.
Here's our prompt questions. Do I have a sense of purpose and direction in life? What do I want out of life? How do I want the world to be different? What is my philosophy of life? What are my fundamental values? And what do I truly value? Yes, the questions start off super deep. Don't worry, we'll get to the superficial, do you like the kind of car we're driving questions later.
All right, let's get to it.
I gave myself an 8 here. I have a ton of goals and dreams, but I used to really want to get an MBA, and that was always a long-term goal for me, and I kind of took a step back from that this year, and so I've been trying to find something to fill that void a little bit.
I gave myself a 10 out of 10 on this aspect of my life. For the first part of the year, I felt like it was completely misaligned because I was working employed somewhere in a job that was great, but was becoming increasingly less interesting for me. Big news that I haven't announced yet. I did quit my job and I'm working full-time as an entrepreneur, and so I feel 100% aligned in my values and purpose.
Next section. How am I giving value to the world? How much value? How much money did I give away in the past year, assuming it made sense to do so? What did it go to? Did it have the most possible impact? Am I taking responsibility for and reducing my environmental impact on the world? Am I making a difference? Am I contributing to important and worthy causes that I care about? How much impact does my existence have environmentally, socially, cognitively?
All right, go.
I gave myself a 9 out of 10. Switching from Twitter to Robinhood was a big step for me just because I believe so strongly in Robinhood's mission. And also this year we started to put out educational content on YouTube, and that was just great to be able to give back that way.
I gave myself a 4 out of 10 on this category, and this is always the category I'm most harsh on myself because I think it's the one I care about most. I have a really high bar because I used to volunteer like 20 to 30 hours a week running the service organization at my university. This year we did donate 10% of our income to our church, but the actual day-to-day volunteering, I don't think I've volunteered for the past 9 months.
Next up, location and tangibles. Let's get superficial, guys. Do I have material sufficiency? Where do I live? Where's my home? Where in the world am I? What is my living situation like? Am I tied to one location? Am I readily mobile if desired? How much stuff do I own? Do I have too many things? Is my life cluttered? I gave myself an 8 out of 10. Tangibles was awesome. Like, Half our stuff was in a storage unit the entire year. We own nothing. Super minimalist, just from moving all the time.
Ditto on that. I think that we did have a little bit of challenge. While it was super positive to spend so much time with family, it was challenging to have like all of our stuff in a storage unit and not really have like a permanent home for a large portion of this year. But now we're in like a really great apartment. We're building our home. I think that's a really great trajectory. I give myself a 7 out of 10.
Do I have savings? How much? Where are they? Do I have an emergency fund? How much? Where is it? What is the status of my assets and investments? Do I know where my money goes? Do I budget? What is my budget? Am I aware of how I spend my money? How do I want to be spending my money? Are my finances organized? Do I have any unwanted debt? I give myself a 9 out of 10. We just killed it this year with this. I mean, both of us have been working full time for like 2.5 years now, and we've been super frugal, saving a ton of our money. So this is just going great.
I gave myself a 10 out of 10 in this category. I think I do a killer job managing our money. We were able to bump our savings rate up to 76% this year, which is amazing. And we grew our business income. We had almost no business income at the start of this year, and last month we made over $4,000 just on our businesses, and I want to grow that in the future.
We're 1/3 of the way through our last year. How are you guys holding up? We're gonna try and zoom through these. Here we go. Career and work. How do I make my money? What do I do? What is my position? What is my role? Where do I work? Am I so good they can't ignore me? Does my career give me mastery, control, and purpose? Am I engaged? Am I well positioned and networked within my industry? How stressful is my career and work? 10 out of 10 for me here. I remember the moment when I got the Robinhood offer. I was like so pumped to just move my career from Twitter to Robinhood. Was like a dream. Oh no.
How are you guys doing? Are you guys holding in there?
It's time. This is the bad category. I know most people are gonna... We did bad on this one this year. What do I typically eat? What is my current diet? Do I regularly eat fast food or make healthy home-cooked meals? Am I generally tired or alert? How often do I get sick? Do you exercise? What form? How often? How much do I sleep on average? Am I getting good quality sleep? How much do I weigh? What is my resting heart rate? Are there any health risks that run in my family? Am I taking adequate steps to address these? Alright, this was bad. 5 out of 10. 2020 was the year that I no longer had the Twitter kitchen or the gym. And I remember my first time having to like make my own lunch in 2 years. Do you understand what that looks like? Health is out the window. It's just gonna be a box of mac and cheese. And that's pretty much the story of health for 2020 for Josh here. What is my current education status? What do I know? Am I spending time learning new things and developing my mind? What are my talents and skills? How much have I read in the past year? What talents and skills have I recently developed or plan to develop? I got a 7 out of 10. I actually learned a lot of stuff like SketchUp, 3D modeling our house, Unity game development for iPhones, and Final Cut Pro, I mean editing YouTube videos. But I feel like a lot of it was just kind of behind a computer, and I want to branch out a little more.
I gave myself a 9 out of 10 on this. I think that I have learned a lot this year about YouTube, video editing, how to build a house, financing, sponsorship negotiations, a lot of stuff. I also learned a killer new pretzel recipe that's my new go-to when everybody comes over. It's like my signature thing now.
How is my home life? How is my relationship with the members of my immediate and extended family? Am I a good friend? How many core friends do I have? How large are my social circles? Am I cared for, loved, and valued by others? Are my partner and I aware of each other's needs and desires? What clubs, organizations, and communities am I a member of? Do I have influence and status in my social circles, in society? 6 out of 10. I got a smoking hot wife. We were both remote and hung out a ton this year, and we got to see a lot of family, but friends have been a little difficult this year with COVID. I'd love to get some swolgers back in my life.
I gave myself an 8 out of 10. I think everyone's social life suffered this year because of COVID, but I got to spend a lot of time with Josh, a lot of time with my family, and a lot of time with Josh's family, and got to move closer to some of my very best friends.
How do I feel about my life? Am I enjoying life? Am I generally optimistic or pessimistic? Am I generally positive or negative? Am I easily aware of my current emotional state? Am I quick to notice how my emotions are influencing my thoughts, actions, and decisions? Do I have a regular mindfulness practice? Do I practice self-compassion? So I was in LA. It was like a week straight of playing video games. Just picture a solid week straight, just bummed out. Like, even if I make money at work, I can't store it anywhere. I don't have a garage to put a bike or anything in. Like, it was some low moments. You were super
sad about a garage for
I was like bummed out, and then I went
while.
And then I went and like finally I was like, I'm over this, and I went and bought this super nice laptop and started doing the Twitch stream and like published the game and stuff. But like, there were some like peaks and there were some really low valleys in my 2020.
Yeah, I think 2020 pushed a lot of people's emotions to the limits. I gave myself a 7. I remember, like, distinctly remember, like, being in my in-laws' basement, living in my in-laws' house, working in my bedroom for 18 hours straight at my job, and like not seeing daylight, coming upstairs, forgetting to eat the entire day, and then like having my one meal of the day and then going to sleep. And that was like a big portion of my 2020, honestly, was like that schedule was just like relentless work and no breaks. But I also think I did have a lot of self-compassion this year, and I did the best I could. 7 out of 10.
What identity do I have? Is my identity small? What are my key strengths and weaknesses? What are my greatest virtues and vices? How do I rate my compassion, integrity, empathy, honor, self-discipline, self-awareness, responsibility, courage, focus, authenticity, confidence, persistence, effectiveness, etc.?
I don't like really love this one because I feel like we've done a lot of soul searching around this topic with like values and purpose and like contribution and impact. But you can do it if you want.
We'll do a speed version. 9 out of 10. I just wrote my vices down, which was video games, hands down this year.
I gave myself a 9 out of 10. I just kind of reflected on how it's been interesting to open our lives up to the online public in all of our videos, and just trying to be our authentic selves while being filmed and being on camera has been interesting. But I think we're doing an okay job, and I gave myself a 9.
Hang in there. We know this is long. Every single year we do this, and it just drags out so long, I feel like. But just 2 more of our past 2020. What productivity systems and tools do I use? Am I organized? What are my routines and rituals? Is there too much complexity in my life? Do I need to simplify? Am I doing any deep work? Am I busy due to lack of priorities? Do I have a good workspace environment and setup? Yikes, this was my first 5 out of 10. Honestly, I'm just so productive when I go to the gym in the morning, and when you take that away from me for an entire year straight, I just like feel like every day
slowly descend.
Just drags through the day.
I also gave myself a 5 out of 10. I think I'm super organized, but my productivity just slacked this year. Our routine was having no routine, and I went to bed late, woke up late, worked from bed most days. It was a mess.
Last one, adventure and creativity. Am I experiencing what I want to experience in life? What fun things have I done lately in general? What creative things have I done lately in general? What are my hobbies? What do I do for fun? You may have noticed that I'm all slumped in my chair. Well, that's because I got a 4 out of 10 on this category. I feel like I have no hobbies anymore. I feel like my hobbies was just this void of not being on a soccer team anymore, not going to eat out, and just like, I don't know, I need to do something about it. Help me.
Well, I don't know, maybe mine's like dramatically different. I gave myself an 8 out of 10 this year for adventure and creativity. I think it's been really cool to have the YouTube channel and be able to express my creativity that way, and then also been designing this home has been amazing for my creativity and like been a dream come true for me. And then adventure, we did get to try living in like 4 different places this year and went through a lot of drive-thrus, so we did the best we could.
At this point you may be wondering, Josh and Katie, why is this taking so long? How much longer is this gonna take? Well, according to the guide, this can easily take several hours, and we're gonna take a break. We're gonna come back to this tomorrow to do the second half. We encourage you to take a break too, because this is super important stuff, and it's important to think through but don't do this all in one sitting.
Back again, new location. So now that we've assessed all of the past year, we're gonna take some time to look at what the next 8,760 hours are going to look like in 2021.
So we're gonna go through each of the 12 areas that we outlined and try and think of our ideal future. And here's some questions to help you out. So for each area, you could ask, what do I want this to be like? What would this look like if it was perfect? What's something I've always wanted to do here? I like using my diploma as a clipboard while I'm writing my yearly goals. It just seems kind of fitting. And for this section, you definitely don't want to spend as much time as you did on the first time going through these 12. You just want to really quickly go through anything that's top of mind. You want to write it down. Okay, now you should have your little ideal year section. That's what mine looks like. Let's see how much Katie did. Yep. A lot more than me.
And then for the next section, you're gonna come up with a yearly theme. So like the year of graduating college.
The year of getting out of debt, whatever it is that you want to encompass, like your entire year and the one thing you want this year to be known for.
My theme is the year of building. We're building a home. I'm building a business this year for the first time on my own, and it's gonna be a year of building.
Mine is the year of making money. We have a ton of side projects and side businesses and our YouTube and stuff, and I just want to grow those and just start making like a sizable amount of money from all this stuff we're doing.
And the next section is goals. So go through your mind map and just look over what you've written down and come up with some concrete goals from there. So these will be kind of like your New Year's resolution type moments of this, and then we're gonna go through and make them actually happen.
You don't need to come up with one goal for each of the 12 sections, just what are gonna be your biggest goals for the year.
All right, we've spent some time setting our goals. Some highlights of mine: to wake up and go to sleep at the same time every day. So that's been a huge problem in 2020, just with like the lack of schedule.
Even when you're at your family's house, when they want to stay up till 2 a.m.?
Yep, wake up, go to sleep,
What?
same time every single day. I think that would be like
No way.
the biggest thing I can do this year to just like make everything else like fall in place. I want to make 6 figures with my own business. So I already made 6 figures working for someone else. And my biggest goal of this year is to do the same, but working for myself. I want to reach 100,000 subscribers on YouTube and build a house.
So some of the flashiest goals I have that I'll share: Swolger goals. I want to lift 6 times a week, get back to my 225-pound bench press and squat. I was there once upon a time, but coronavirus happened. Also, I'm working really hard this year to get promoted at Robinhood, and I want to own like a really big chunk of the Robinhood iPhone app. That's a big goal for me this year. And probably the biggest one, I want to make $200,000 in personal business income. I want to publish 6 different games and apps in the App Store and make some money off those. And all those combined, I'm trying to hit 200K by the end of the year.
Setting goals is great, but the next part is making sure that you actually accomplish those goals. So he recommends setting milestones for each of the goals that you outlined so that you can schedule those actually in a calendar.
You can use any calendar you want, Google Calendar, a piece of paper stapled to your wall, whatever it is, but this is definitely one of the most important parts of this entire process. So just as an example, we've put in Google Calendar weekly events to publish a YouTube video, so that will keep us on track with our goals there.
And the last thing that you need to do is schedule ongoing reviews. So every quarter, go through this sheet that you've already filled out. You don't have to write anything, but just remember what you reviewed, the goals that you set, and check to see if you're on track.
Okay, we hope you liked this. Be sure to hang whatever cool stuff you made on your wall so it'll remind you. I also have my vision board with my fellow soldiers on there reminding me.
We have 8,760 hours in this next year, so let's work on making it the best year ever. Guys, comment down below the goals that you guys are working on this year, because we're like really curious and maybe we can help you accomplish some of them and chat about them.